Guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is March 12, 2025, and welcome to the Real GS News channel. Guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up, and once again, thank you so much for your support. American deliveries of artillery shells, anti-tank weapons, and HIMARS rockets are arriving in Ukraine again. Earlier, the Polish Ministry of Defense confirmed that U.S. military aid to Kiev has resumed. Guys, we have a lot more information, but leave comments down below. What are your thoughts? What do you think about this move by Donald? You think Donald is doing a good job sending all this stuff? And, you know, here's, again, I'm going to say for my part, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong, because I remember people used to get upset when Joe did this, and Joe was sending a lot of stuff, and people was like, when is this gonna end? And I remember, you know, a lot of people were saying that. Now that Donald is the leader, and Donald said that he was gonna end this in 24 hours, he didn't. He said that he was not gonna send stuff, he's sending stuff. But now that it's under Donald, it seems like there's a different, you know, a different story going on here. No, you know, people's like, well, you know, as long as it's Donald, he know what he know what he's doing. But here's the thing, guys. I don't support these biblical wars. Those men out there have wives at home and young ones. There's so many widows out there, many widows. Let those husbands go home to their wives. That's all I gotta say. Let those dads raise their kids. So I don't agree with Donald on this one. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like this war is never going to end. We're going to be sending a lot more stuff, so buckle up. All right, so once again, you have Vladimir putting on the camouflage. All right, and we did talk about this. Vladimir reportedly makes first visit to Kursk Oblast since start of incursion. Once again, Vladimir, on March 12, reportedly made his first visit to the Bear Kursk Oblast since Crane's incursion into the region began in August 2024. Let me show you some of the stuff here. Look at that. Zelenskyy expects strong action from U.S. if the bear refuses the ceasefire. They're going to slap the bear with strong sanctions. Here we go. Donald threatens to devastate the bear economy if Vladimir refuses peace deal. Here's the thing, guys, and it doesn't make any sense. So, Donald is going to give all these equipments to Crane, and the bear must accept this as peace. Again, Crane is going to receive a lot of equipment, which is being shipped right now, because Donald left the aid and all that, so everything is going to go to Crane for the next 30 days of ceasefire, and the bear must accept it. If not, they're going to get slapped with sanctions. I don't see that being peace there. I don't see it. I just don't. So the bear, I don't know if the bear accepted the ceasefire, but one thing I tell you guys, pay attention to Vladimir. The man has a camouflage on. Alright guys, before I start, again, give this video a big thumbs up. Again, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the PayPal link and the Patreon link in the description box. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, so again, guys, at the very end, this is all Bible prophecy. God is the one that is in control when it comes to leadership here on earth. But one thing I tell you is that, Donald kind of changed his ways when it comes to dealing with this war. And I remember he was, I think it was Town Hall CNN, something like that. And he did mention that he's like, I want everybody to stop dying, both sides. That's what he said. But yeah, it just not looking like that. All right, so the sleeping giant military aid to Ukraine resumes through Poland. Poland foreign minister confirmed that the sleeping giant equipment supplies to Ukraine had resumed to previous levels following talks between officials from Washington and Kiev in Saudi Arabia. I confirm that arms deliveries via, I'm going to skip all that name, have returned to previous levels. Now remember, this is your tax money. So I'm just saying it's your tax money. Warsaw says that the vast majority of military aid to Ukraine passes through Poland, particularly through the, I'm going to skip that name, hub in the east. Now, once again, Washington had halted military aid last week following a public spat at the White House between the U.S. Donald and Zelenskyy. Once again, you have, Kursk was speaking alongside Ukraine's foreign minister, Andrei, who had been part of talks in Jeddah. Now, during those talks, Ukraine backed a sleeping giant proposal for a 30-day ceasefire with the bear. Now, although Europe has not been part of the talks in Saudi Arabia, leaders have welcomed the news that Ukraine has agreed to the ceasefire proposal. Yeah, that's like Happy Meal to them. That's a blessing gift. You mean to tell me I get to have all this and you guys are going to give me all the Happy Meal toys, meaning the weapons? Yes, you're going to have everything. We're going to give you everything. It sounds like Joe policy. I'm not trying to be mean here, but it sounds like Joe policy. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Leave comments down below. So we still waiting because the Bears just haven't said anything yet. But the U.S. eagerly awaiting the Bear response to ceasefire proposal, Rubio said. So this is very important information here. So once again, you have Secretary of State Rubio said that the sleeping giant was waiting. They're waiting for the Bear response to Washington 30-day ceasefire proposal. We all eagerly await the Bear response and urge them strongly to consider ending all hostility, Rubio told reporters on a refueling stop in Ireland. If they say no, then obviously we have to examine everything and sort of figure out where we stand in the world and what their true intention are. I think I'll be if they say no. It'll tell us a lot about what their goals are and what their mindset is. The problem here, the Bear would have accepted if you guys would have never lifted the ban on the military equipment. You guys lift that and sending equipment. The Bear is saying, yeah, we can't do that. Now we got to do more work. We got to clean that up now. You guys are sending stuff. It says here, Ukraine agreed to the U.S. proposal following talks with Rubio and other U.S. officials in Saudi Arabia. Rubio said that the European allies would need to be involved in any eventual peace deal on Ukraine and highlighted the sanctions imposed on the Bear since the launch of the invasion of Ukraine. I think that they have to be necessarily involved, Rubio said, and noted that the Bear would seek removal of European measures imposed on it. Rubio also said that a minerals deal with Ukraine will give the U.S. vested economic interest in Ukraine, and while he didn't frame that as a security guarantee, he says such an interest would need protecting. Now, I wouldn't couch it as a security guarantee, but certainty if the U.S. has a vested economic interest that's generating revenue for our people as well as for the people of Ukraine. We have a vested interest in protecting it, Rubio said. Once again, U.S. eagerly awaiting the bare response to ceasefire proposal. Like I said, it's just. I mean, they would accept the ASAP, but they're taking their time now. Okay, give me a second here, guys. Let me go back on Twitter really quick. See if we can find any more updates here. Actually, hold on. Wait a minute. I do have some more information here. This is Zelenskyy putting out some very important information. Zelenskyy on Wednesday said that the sleeping giant would issue a strong response to the bear if the Kremlin refused a 30-day ceasefire offer put forward by Washington and Kiev. The proposal to pause fighting between the bear and crane, after more than 3 years of brutal warfare, came after intensive talks between Ukrainian and the sleeping giant officials in Saudi Arabia. It also followed, okay, we're going to skip a lot of this stuff here. So Zelenskyy told reporter in Kiev that the sleeping giant would pile pressure on Moscow if it did not accept a halt to fighting that has claimed tens of thousands. Now, I understand that we can count on strong steps. I don't know the details yet, but we are talking about sanctions and strengthening Ukraine, Zelenskyy told reporters, including AFP journalists. Everything depends on whether the bear wants a ceasefire and silence, or if it wants to continue taking innocents, the Ukrainian leader added. The truce offer comes at a difficult moment on the battlefield for Ukraine, which is losing ground in the east and south of the country, where officials said 8 were taken out on Wednesday. Once again, my condolences and prayers to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. So, muted Kremlin response. Again, they haven't said anything yet. The only thing we have is Vladimir wearing the camouflage. It says here, and even if the bear agrees to a ceasefire, much remains uncertain. In negotiation, Ukraine has pressed for security guarantees, but Donald has ruled out NATO membership. Kremlin, in its first comments on the prohibition, give me a second here, guys, said that it was waiting for detail from D.C. Earlier this month, however, its foreign ministry has said that a temporary ceasefire was unacceptable. Now, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry said that Moscow did not rule out a high-level phone call with the U.S. about Ukraine. Now, we assume that Secretary of State Marco Rubio and advisor Michael Waltz, through various channels in the coming days, will inform us on the negotiation that took place on the understanding reached. Earlier, you have the Bear News Agency reported that U.S. and the Bear intelligence chiefs had held their first phone call in several years. Once again, you had the CI, Mr. John, and Sergey of the Bear SVR, Foreign Intelligence Service, agreed on regular contact between their agency to contribute to the international stability and security, as well as decrease in confrontation in relations between Moscow and Washington. Now, there is little hope in Ukraine. However, that even if Kremlin agrees to a truce, that its forces would actually halt fighting. Ooh, man, that's not a good name right there. That's not good. That's not good. Not good. Peace only when Vladimir out. All right, so again, Zelenskyy, man, he has like a dark heart. True Christian will not think like that or have a heart like that. So I have emphasized this many times. None of us trust the bear. Yeah, I don't trust you, dude. I really don't trust you. You want our sons and daughters, and it ain't gonna happen. In the front line, Ukrainian city, a 44 years old Ukrainian serviceman said the bear could only be forced into peace. They say in public that there's no fighting and no shelling. But this, you know what, has also, give me a second, always harassed us, and it will continue to do. Roman, a 56 years old, said that the bear likely would not stick to its agreement and that there was only one way to ensure peace. Peace will come when Vladimir, gone. That's the only way when he is gone, he told AFP in the Ukrainian capital. Now, Washington, again, Donald said that he was ready to welcome Zelenskyy back to the White House and may speak to Vladimir this week. Wow. So, asked by a reporter about the prospect of a comprehensive ceasefire in Ukraine, Donald answered, well, I hope it will be over the next few days. The bear, despite already holding several rounds of talks with U.S. officials, he stepped up strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure and seized back land in the Kursk region Ukrainian forces had infiltrated. Zelenskyy told reporters in Kiev that the bear was intensifying strikes in the Kursk region, where Ukrainian troops have been losing ground since launching their this is cross-border offensive there last August. Well, one thing I'll tell you guys is that yesterday you had one of the Ukrainian generals said that there's no incursion going on and that everything's under control in Kursk. Well, that was a big fat baloney. That was a big fat baloney because Vladimir is out there in Kursk, which means that, Ukraine troops lost. They out. Alright, so it says here maximum pressure. The bear are clearly trying to put maximum pressure on our troops and our military command in doing what it has to do, Zelenskyy said. Now, the bear military just several hours earlier announced more sweeping gains in Kursk, taking control of 5 villages and entering Santiago, the largest town that fell under Kiev control. Donald abrupt shift on Ukraine following Joe Strong's support has rattled European allies, with France and Germany increasingly speaking of developing common European defense if the U.S. no longer offers its security guarantees through NATO. Once again, German Chancellor Olaf on Wednesday said that any ceasefire must be part of a process that leads to a lasting agreement. Some things are very important and central. A ceasefire must be embedded in a peace process that leads to a lasting agreement, Olaf told reporter in the Berlin alongside EU Council Chief Antonio Costa. Alright, so that's where we at right now, guys. That is where we at. And I'm going to skip this one here. We did talk about it. But, yeah, he has the camouflage on. And, yeah. They didn't mention anything about the ceasefire. They're focusing on Kursk region. Alright, so that's where we are right now, guys. The U.S. is sending stuff. Nation against nations are still rising. And I've said this many, many times. When spoken of peace, tensions are still high. And we are seeing that right now. And like I said, that ceasefire, it just, I don't see that working, to be honest. But it just, again, anything is possible. Maybe the bear might agree on the ceasefire. Just buckle up and keep your eyes open, especially the blood moon. I do believe this is a prophetic time of Bible prophecy, nation against nation. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon will get you access to our live stream every Monday, We talk about things that we cannot talk about in the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.